Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's end-of-week World Currencies, Stock Markets and Commodities Deep Dive for Friday, July 25th, 2025. Kicking things off, I'm Victoria Cashmore. Major currencies showed broad weakness in the greenback today. The US dollar closed at 0.8517 against the euro, down 0.0091, with a very strong negative trend. Against the yen, it fell to 147.65, down 1.145. Weekly returns show the greenback's weakness, with the euro gaining over 1%. Month to date, however, most major currencies show modest gains against their US counterpart, particularly the British pound with a 2.17% advance. Long-term performance reveals sustained dollar weakness. Against the Swiss franc, the greenback has declined nearly 18% over 10 years. The yen relationship shows contrast, with the dollar gaining 19.3% over the same period. Asian currencies showed mixed performance. The rupee stands out with 4 consecutive weekly gains against the dollar. The yuan showed downward volatility, while the Singapore dollar maintained steady strength. Weekly returns in Asian markets show the rupee gaining momentum with a 0.38% rise against the dollar. The kiwi showed particular strength, pushing the dollar down nearly 0.9% this week. 10-year trends reveal the Indian rupee as an outlier, with the dollar gaining 34% over the period. The Singapore dollar has shown remarkable stability, with the greenback declining just 6.6% over the decade.
Looking at global stock market tracking ETFs, I'm Max Profit. Japan led global markets, closing at 75.68, up 3.87, marking a new all-time high. Ireland and Denmark showed strong momentum, rising 4.9% and 4.6% respectively. Finland hit a new one-year high at 42.25. Looking at weekly returns, Japan posted the strongest performance with a 5.4% gain. Ireland follows with 4.9%, while year-to-date, Finland leads the group with a remarkable 30.4% return. Over the longer term, Ireland shows impressive strength with an 18.1% three-year annual return. Denmark maintains solid performance with a 7.7% 10-year annual rate, while Japan and Sweden both delivered steady growth above 3.8% annually. Among underperforming markets, India extended its losing streak to 4 consecutive weeks, down 1.2% to 53.80. Indonesia slipped 0.5%. Despite the overall weakness, Taiwan managed to reach a new one-year high at 59.43. Weekly returns show India declining 1.3%, with a month-to-date drop of 3.4%. Indonesia continues its downward trend, down 4.8% year-to-date. Taiwan shows resilience with a 14.8% gain this year, despite recent weakness. Long-term performance reveals Indonesia struggling with negative returns across all timeframes, down 22% over 3 years. In contrast, Netherlands maintains solid growth with a 13.1% three-year annual return, while Taiwan shows steady 7.3% annual gains over 10 years.
Considering commodities, I'm Liquidity. Silver futures and copper futures hit milestone highs, with copper reaching a new all-time peak at 5.80, up 3.5%. Aluminum shows strong momentum, rising for 3 consecutive weeks. Year-to-date returns show remarkable strength in metals, with copper leading at 44.1%, followed by silver at 31.1%. Gold has gained 26.3%, while aluminum shows more modest gains of 2.9%. Looking at long-term performance, gold leads with a 10-year return of 207%, averaging 11.9% annually. Silver follows with 164% over the decade, while copper has returned 143%. Energy futures show broad weakness, with natural gas leading declines, dropping 13.1% to 3.10. Gasoline and heating oil futures both fell over 3%, breaking downward from recent consolidation patterns. Year-to-date performance remains challenging across energy futures. Natural gas shows the steepest decline at minus 14.8%, while crude oil is down 9.1%. Only gasoline and heating oil show modest gains. The decade-long returns in energy remain subdued. Heating oil leads with a 45% total return, while crude oil has gained 35%. Brent crude shows a modest 25% return over 10 years. Live cattle futures hit a new all-time high, rising 3% to 226.55, marking 5 consecutive weekly gains. Feeder cattle also reached record levels despite this week's slight decline. Class 2I milk continues its downward trend. Grain futures show persistent weakness. Corn dropped 2.2% to 399.50, while soybean futures declined 1.3%. Oats recorded their third consecutive weekly decline. Only rough rice showed strength, gaining 2.1%. Grain futures were mostly lower this week. Corn futures fell 2.2% to 399.50, showing a very strong negative trend. Rough rice futures bucked the trend, gaining 2.1% to 12.63. Soybean futures drifted down 1.3% to 1,021.75. Looking at longer-term performance, grain futures show significant weakness. Corn and wheat have both declined over 30% in the past 3 years. Oat futures have shown relative resilience, up 8.5% over the past year. Soft commodities showed mixed performance. Cocoa surged 6.7% to 8,329, while sugar declined 3.2% to 16.28. Orange juice maintained its upward momentum, marking its third consecutive weekly gain. Year-to-date performance shows significant divergence. Orange juice has seen substantial volatility, up 43% month-to-date, despite being down 34% this year. Cocoa showed strength this week, despite being down 28% year-to-date. Long-term returns in soft commodities have been robust. Cocoa leads with a remarkable 242% return over 3 years. Orange juice and coffee have also posted strong gains, up 112% and 41% respectively over the same period.
And with that, we conclude another end-of-week World Currency, Markets and Commodities episode. I'm Victoria Cashmore, along with my AI co-hosts Max Profit and Liquidity. Thanks for watching. Look for daily wrap-ups every day just after 5 p.m. New York time. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency, and commodities. Thanks for watching.